Hello, everyone. Welcome back to another episode of Coffee Corner. Today is your episode 95. Today is your officially 95th episode. So, in last video, I was talking about that was episode 95. That wasn't because I thought, I filmed this topic before, and then of course, I just assumed that was a 95, but that was not. So, I hope it's not confusing. Okay, so let's finally sit down and talk about me time. And I managed to put my little one to sleep today, and I don't know how long would that last. And I hope he will allow me to finish this filming. But hope for the best and prepare for the worst. Fingers crossed. Anyway, so why is me time so important, especially for a woman in a family? And that's what I'm going to talk about today. I did this episode before, and I think I used a lot of statistics in that episode, and I didn't really like it. And of course, the audio and everything was ruined, and I didn't manage to publish that. And it gave me another chance to redo this episode. I'm a very introverted person, but let's say nowadays we have the term, or not term, like introverted extrovert or extroverted introvert. That's me, right? Combination of both. But for me, it is very important to spend my own time on myself. It doesn't have to be anything that I need to do, but it's more like I can veg out. I can, read a book. I can play on my phone. I can even spend some time with Bob or sorts of things, but I need to be by myself, not even with my husband. That is very important, and realize that spending me time will give me a lot of energy, will give me a lot of time to recover from very exhausting environment or vibes or anything that from outside of my body. We call that inner peace. But I don't have an inner peace if I don't have me time. And when I don't have inner peace, I tend to be more explosive. Yeah, that's a word for my husband. That means I'm not very stable. I get irritated very easily, and I just don't know how to handle my emotions around people. And I notice that, and I hate it, and then I start to hate myself. Then I realize if you just allow me 5 to 10 minutes, I can do anything I want, and I find that whole family will be happier. That is why I really want to talk about why me time is very important for a woman in a family. Because as a woman, if you have a very stable emotion and people around you and the whole vibe will become very stable. I don't know how many of you out there are moms or wives, and I don't know if or you're living with your parents. And I don't know if you notice that when your moms have more stable emotions in a family, the whole family tends to be happier. Well, that's in most of cases, right? If you hear noises, that's my AC blasting, and also it acts as a muffler for my little one so he doesn't hear noises. Okay, so back to our topic about me time. Why it is important for a woman to have a me time. It doesn't have to be like me. So I'm very introverted. I like to spend time by myself doing nothing or doing something, but it has to be myself, and then I feel better. But for some people, if you're extroverted, you want to spend time with your friends, you want to go out, you want to do more stuff, fun stuff, that's your own way to spend me time. But either way, it keeps us happy, and it keeps our emotions more stable, so we can handle things, we can handle stress, we can handle tiredness, we can handle a lot of things that we don't want to when we were at our worst. But think about this way: when you are at your best, or even when you're at your average, you tend to be more tolerant for a lot of things, and you want to be like, it's okay, oh, just let go of it. You're easy at that moment, right? Or let's say you're easygoing at that moment, and then people around you feel you're friendly and they want to talk to you. At that moment, your communication is at the moment that it's understandable, it's effective, and you're open to listen to other people. You're open to tell other people about your own emotions, and everything seems more harmonious at that moment. And of course, you've created a very nice vibe around your family members. But If you don't have your me time, you always handle a lot of things by yourself, not even by yourself or around people. Let's say you're taking care of your little ones, you're taking care of the family, you're doing work. You never got a chance to relax by yourself, and you tend to be more stressed. When you're more stressed, you don't have patience for a lot of things. And when your kids talk to you, you tend to snap at them. Or when your husbands talk to you, you tend to snap at them. But remember, snapping is never a good thing when it comes to communication or when it comes to fostering a nice vibe at home. But when we are when we are short tempered at that moment, it's hard to take care of a lot of things, right? So you just want to be able to have a moment, even just a minute. And that happened to me a few days ago. I think I was really frustrated because, I was doing sleep training with my little one and I didn't really get a chance to do a lot of things. I felt like my life, that's it. For the rest of my life, I'm going to deal with all sorts of things I will never be able to have my own time. And there are going to be a lot of problems in the future. If I solve one today, but there will be another one tomorrow. I just can't really think about that. But by the night, I kind of had a fight with my husband. Verbally. Or more like from me. I don't even remember what he said, but I was so furious. I said, and you know what? That's it. You can deal with him. I took off and went for a walk. I went to Tim Hortons, got coffee at 10 o'clock. He was very nice. He texted me, say, well, be careful about your surroundings and blah, blah, blah. But the funny thing is, I went out mad, but I wasn't super mad at him. I was just mad in general. But I went for a walk. I spent a little bit of time at Tim Hortons, sat there by myself. I was so calm and happy and peaceful. So I came back from that for 10 minutes. I came back and I started to talk to my husband about why I was really mad, and what we could have done better in that situation. And we really talked and then we solved the problem and we were all happy. We're back to our own ourselves. I'm like, hey, you know what? I just realized I just need a solid 5 to 10 minutes by myself. That's all I'm asking for. And I'm okay. But then you would think, why is that so important for women in a family to have a really good mental health? Yet nobody really cares that much. They just think once you become a mom, once you become a wife, you're supposed to be tough. You're supposed to hide all your emotions, your stress. You're supposed to be a perfect mom or a perfect wife. But why? Or they're expecting a lot from us, but they don't care about our mental health. Physical health is, of course, important because if you can't be physically present there, then you can't really help the family. But what about mental health? And then I was thinking about that. And I did a lot of research. And then, you know what? Forget about the research. I just want to talk about my own story about it. I feel like for mental health, so I'm not representing all of you guys there. I'm just talking about myself. First of all, part of the reason I didn't plan to have a kid in the very beginning because I knew myself I wasn't emotionally stable. I don't know. Well, back then I didn't know if I could handle all the stress, all the knowing stuff, unexpected stuff, and then I think that would drive me crazy. And then if I'm crazy, how am I going to take care of everybody? Which I'm supposed to because women are assumed the primary caregivers. But now I think what I've learned from my husband, what I've learned from Bob and my little one is there are a lot of unexpected things and you just have to deal with it. And a lot of things you can't control, then you just have to let go of them. And that is a learning process of how to deal with yourself, deal with your emotions, deal with the unexpected stuff, and how to sit here and have a talk with yourself and reach the inner peace. And when you have that moment, even if you're an extroverted and even you want to go out and hang out with the friends, that gives you an inner peace that you are not even aware of. So right here, I want to tell everybody, or I want to confess with everybody is you have as a partner, as a friend, or as any family members here, when you look at your mother, when you look at your wife, when you look at your self, you have to realize you need to take care of yourself first, not only physically, but more mentally. When you have the stable mental health and you are more able to take care of yourself physically, when you are taking care of yourself physically well, and then you have more energy physically to do more things with your kids, and then you have more patience with a lot of things that you weren't willing to deal with in the beginning. And then you've reached to the point that your kids are well educated, and your husband is very understanding, and yourself is a beautiful yourself. If you're happy about yourself, then you're going to be happy about other people. Then the whole family is going to be very stable. But to reach that point, you need to be educated, which is really funny. You would think our most of ourselves out there, well, if you're watching this video, I assume you're really well educated because, well, you understand the whole thing. um, for women, it is very, and for a whole family, it is very important to be educated, because then you're the rule breaker, right? So you first break the traditions, break the social norms. You want to be the pioneer, and you set a role model for your kids, so they will learn when they encounter difficulties, challenges. They know how to not surrender. They know how to deal with that, even though they don't know how, but they're not easily to, um, mm, put off their ideas. They want to go for it. They want to fight for it, and that's how, as a woman, you can set a role model for your kids. But also, when you are educated, you're more likely to know how to deal with yourself as well, and you want to be a better yourself first. Then you can help other people. And also, when you're more educated, you're more likely to have a conversation. You're more likely to help other people. And when you are good of yourself, then you're good for everybody. Well, maybe I have talked a lot of nonsense here. I've been repeating things. But what I want to say is, as a woman, it's a tough, because we've taken a lot of responsibilities, and since ages ago, since centuries ago. But the importance of a woman in a family has not been really acknowledged by a lot of people. And surprisingly, well, to be honest, surprisingly, when my mom was here, sometimes she still says something like, "Oh, as a woman, you're supposed to do this." But then I would ask, why am I supposed to do that? Why can't I be a person, be a human being? If as a human being I'm supposed to do this, would any human beings be supposed to do this, right? If that's the case, then why are you asking a woman to do more? Not not the guys. Okay, that's a little bit off the topic, but if you think about that way, even my own mom would think about me in that way. And then I can't imagine what about other people. So luckily, my husband and my husband's family, they really treat me like a person, like a human being. They think, well, I can take some responsibilities, but I should not be solely taking the responsibility. So there's a reason you have a husband and wife, or you have wives or husbands, right? Um, but that gives me a very strong mental support. And when I have that mental support, I know I'm not alone. Even though I want to spend some of my own time, when I'm not alone, I don't feel hopeless. When I don't feel hopeless, then I want to spend a little bit more me time to think about myself, to improve myself, to get better. And then when I'm with my little one, I'm happier. I'm more cheerful. I'm just like more positive. And when I'm more positive for him, for his mental development, he will be more positive. And especially when it comes to challenges or difficulties, right? Um, that is why I want to say me time is very important. So for myself, what I've started to do is to, of course, first do some exercise, including yoga and Pilates. Those are the things that I can do by myself without talking, which is really good. I want to do it for a couple of reasons. First, of course, I want to get back to my old, norm. And the second, it just the doing something challenging makes me very happy, right? The hormones. Another thing I need to get back is reading, so I need to read more. But I'm gradually getting back to that old habit. So I'm very happy about that. And then another thing is, of course, is making videos. I want to be able to make videos even though I'm the one who's staying at home taking care of everything because my husband eventually will go back to work and I'm still on mat leave. Can I manage that? Let's say today I'm very happy because I managed everything. That shows me I'm capable. And that shows me potential, possibility that I can do it in the future. I don't have to get stuck here as a prisoner, right? And of course, you can take a walk and listen to your podcast. I don't even know when was the last time I listened to podcasts, but recently because of that guy, I had to walk him a lot. So I started to put my earphones and start to listen to a lot of podcasts. Get back to my old habit, and of course, I still talk to him. I make sure I have a time. Enough time to talk to him, but I also want to make sure I'm mentally healthy. And now I register a new class for Pilates. I want to try those reformer machines, see if I can challenge myself. But I allow myself maybe, once a week or something to get out to meet people. I don't have to talk, but I just want to get out and socialize. That is something very important for me, and that I called me time. But for a lot of families, I kind of understand that you might not be able to do it because you don't have a second hand, you don't have uh, extra help or support. You are solely on yourself. But I want you to know that I really understand how difficult, how challenging it is to have a family by yourself, to take care of everything by yourself. But even if it's a midnight, even if it's 2 o'clock in the morning, you want to spend 5 minutes by yourself. You want to do nothing. You want to do everything, whatever. Give yourself 5 minutes, even in the bathroom, right? Give yourself 5 minutes to rethink about yourself and you will feel better. And that's how I learned. I used to hate doing dishes, but now I kind of like it because when I'm doing dishes, I'm really like thinking about nothing. I just put my earphones on and start to listen podcasts. I don't have to pay any attention. I just want that kind of space by myself. You can create that space for yourself, but you have to think hard. If you don't have condition, you don't have some advantages out there, you want to do it, you need to do it because me time is really important. Well, I'd like to end this podcast because I don't know. But the one funny thing I want to mention is so this is the why some of the people don't want women to be educated. I looked up the statistics there. They says women with a higher education or women who are more well educated tend to delay their family plans. That means they will want to get married late, or they will want to have kids late, or even they don't want to have a kids because they're smart enough to plan themselves first. They're smart enough to know what they want, what they don't, what they can do well, what they cannot now. So that's why when women are educated, they take care of themselves better. Be educated and don't listen to nonsense. If people say, well, women should not be that smart, don't listen to that nonsense. Be yourself, spend time by yourself, and take care of yourself. Okay, so that's the end of the episode. I hope you like it. I hope you can get some value out of it. But that's pretty much everything. I will try my best to spend more time with you guys. That's a treat for me too. Okay, so take care. Bye.